And in 3, 2. All right, guys. Hi. Sorry it's a little close up, but that's the easy way to see it. So normally we do an unboxing, but this is kind of a plain box. Nothing fancy. You get a couple destruction manuals, you get a cleaning cloth and a cord, so there goes that. What are we talking about? This little guy. And I've had it since Wednesday of last week. It is Monday when I'm recording this. And as you can see, the battery life, I still have 75%. And that was not on a full charge. I took it up to 90% and started wearing it. Excuse me. So, what do I think about it so far? And then we'll get into some particulars. So far, I think it's pretty decent, other than the fact that it does not accurately count my steps, even after being set up correctly. That being said, it does have a couple nice features. It does give you your temperature. You scroll down and you can see the last 5 messages off my phone. Do that twice and you get rid of it. Scroll in from the right and you can do it again. You can get into your heartbeat, sleep monitor, how many steps, how many miles, your calories. Swipe up from the bottom, it gives you some of your setting stuff. You can control music, you got a do not disturb, you got an energy saving mode, and you got to find your phone. And it's not going to work while I'm recording. So I can't show that one because I'm recording with the phone right there. Anyway, if you push this button, it gives you your exercise modes. You got walking, running, hiking, bicycling, badminton, and tabletop. And basketball and soccer. So you got 8 different settings there. This will take you to your stopwatch or a countdown timer, whichever. So far, what do I think? Well, I like it. I like it a lot. Battery life seems, well, seeing as how I'm not running everything, seems pretty decent. Like I say, it's still about 75%. It's nice heavy metal. Can't speak. It's nice, solid. It's got a glass face, not plastic. It's a metal construction with a plastic base. Here's your heart rate sensor and your charge port. Now, the nice thing about the charger is it is USB magnetic, and you can't boo-boo it. You can't put this on backwards because it's magnetized. No matter how I try, it won't fit. But when I turn it around, it locks right into place. Now the downside of this nice charger is, turn that up so you can see. As you can see, it's got 2 prongs there. They're spring-loaded, but they're what make connection to the back here. So you don't want to leave this plugged in anywhere, and just in case you might find something that's, we'll say, metal and, oops, now we got a dead short. We don't want to do that. So, but it only takes 2 hours to charge this, which is why I believe this watch would be good for survival situations. Only part of the reason why. And I'll get into other reasons here in a minute. But this watch, like I said, it's nice and hefty. It does have, through the app, a GPS function, which I'll show that in the app. For the length of battery usage, depending on what you have turned on, you don't have to worry about having spare batteries. It takes 2 hours to recharge, so you could hook it up to a solar bank and recharge it pretty quick. And you won't have to charge it as often as you would, say, your phone. So, for that reason, plus the fact that you can monitor calories burnt through the app, I think it's a fairly decent survival item. Now, why would I want to use it in a survival situation? One, I'll use it in conjunction with an app which I will do a separate review on. It is called Lose It. And I will explain in there some calorie things and other situational things that you might want to worry about in a survival situation. So, as far as the watch goes, the watch itself, with the ability to tell date and time, obviously, temperature, which is unfortunately through the app. It is what your phone shows. So as long as there's some sort of connection, that'll be fine. So if right now, if you're using it, you can monitor the weather in your area. Because, let me get there. If I tap here, it brings me up to my weather page. And as you can see, all the information, millibars, sunrise, sunset, humidity or dew point, UV index warnings. So it's got a lot of information there that you can use. Scroll down and you can get 5, 10, 15 days worth of advanced weather on your watch, which saves you from looking at your phone if that's what you need to worry about. Excuse me. And as you can see, the touch screen is very decent. Oh, I forgot to show it from the right. You can go into your exercises. What was that one I forgot? Oh, breathing. That's another thing. If you get stressed out, this has a breathing app on here where it'll help you to breathe in and breathe out and help calm yourself down. There's your stopwatch function, and here's your settings. You can go to you can adjust your brightness, which I have it set at the middle one. How long your screen stays on. I leave it at 3 seconds. And this way, you can also scroll through the various watch faces that you can use. There's 15 different watch faces. I'll pick that one for now. And see, this way I've got all my weather information right up front, as well as the steps. So, it's however you want to set it up. There's 15 different watch faces that you could use to personalize it. So I'm going to go into some of the app stuff, and then if I can remember anything, we'll talk about more afterwards. Alright, this is the inside of the app. I'm going to make this caveat real quick. While using the GPS track here to show where we've walked, the step count is accurate. If you just use the watch by itself, for me, it gives me 2.6 to 1 steps. As you can see where we walked, and if you get really careful and close, you can see what we did inside the Wally World there. But the GPS will track anywhere. And I'm not sure if it's using active GPS or if it's stored maps. I'm pretty sure it's active, and the map itself is stored. That's something you could check out if you decide to use it. If you want to check your details, it'll tell you how far you walked, 2.96 miles. Took us an hour and 7 minutes, and that's Charles and I both. Average pace, 28.58, or 22.58. And here we can see our graph. We can see our fastest point. It won't let me increase it in size, but come here, get off the edge, all the way off the edge. There it goes. You can see our fastest point was right here. I don't know if it'll let me tap that. Nope, it won't. Anywho, as you can see, it showed our real-time speed and how fast we were going. So that's the watch app, and this is the face of it. When you get it, this is your home screen. When you first get it, you'll have to connect a device. It does use Bluetooth, so make sure your Bluetooth is up. You should get it with a, no need to upgrade the firmware. This right here shows I just did as far as walking. 52.66 in steps, burned 431 calories, walked a total of 1.56 miles in a straight line. That's not counting the actual walking inside Walmart. Highest rate for my heart was 126. Took us 68 minutes to do it, and that's enough of that. Here's where you set your personal information: name, age, gender, all that good stuff. I do not have mine set up to take pictures, so we'll skip down to device. This is where you set your information, whether you like 12-hour, 24-hour, metric or imperial, temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Now, when you first get the watch, if you get one, you'll have to set your time display, then back out and it'll save. Then go back in and set your units. It's a pain in the butt, but you can do it. Let's see. Call alert, message alerts. You can set it up so between these hours that you see on the screen here, it will issue you alerts. Any other time that's a 6-hour period there, it will not issue alerts or messages. Notification filter, here you see just a bunch of the random ones. And every message that my Apple gets, this off-brand watch gets. So there's no issues there. You can check your resting heart rate, and you can set it from time to time to check your heart rate. I like to talk with my hands a lot. So using the raised wrist awake screen, I have off, so it helps the battery life last a little bit longer on the phone, or the watch, I mean. But you can always set times for that as well. And then you can also hit Find Device. It'll sit there and make your watch buzz until you hit OK on both. And you can use the watch to find your phone as well. We'll show that in the regular stuff. So, anywho, that's it for this part. We'll get back to the watch. All right, welcome back. So what do? We go out and buy a watch. Watches are somewhat necessary if you want to tell time. Some people just use your phone, which that's what I used to do. This watch was sent to me for a non-biased, give them the full shakedown, and I've had it 5-6 days now, 6 days, and I like it. It's a decent watch. I can set it up to monitor what I want. Like I know, so it's cloudy, 64 degrees. There is a light breeze. Dew points at 93%. UV's at 1. Sunrise, sunset, good enough, and time. Like I said a minute in the other part, all the notifications that come off the phone here go right to the watch. It doesn't matter what app it is. I was kind of hoping something would pop up so you'd be able to see it, but nothing has. So, in a survival situation, being able to monitor calorie count, making sure you're not burning too many calories or being too sedentary. This does have a move it function where it will remind you to get active if you sit still for too long, which I don't have that set up. But you can. And I showed the rest of the stuff in the app. So, cut, 2 minutes in, restart. All right, welcome back. And here we are. Here's the watch. As you can see, I still have it set up. There we go. Yeah, well. Anywho, being able to track steps, calories, and if you, like I said in the app, if you use it in conjunction with GPS, you can, it does a pretty darn accurate job. If you're using just the watch by itself, the steps are off by 2.6 for me. Now that is just me because my stride is different. Even though I tried setting it up in the app, I don't believe it's set up correctly. So for every one step I take, it registers 2.6 steps. So that may be because my arm's moving. Maybe the sensor on this is too sensitive and they need to adjust it. Another thing I'd like to see them do is put in a customizable exercise app so you can do, set it up for, an activity that you're doing that is not listed on here already, or be able to download a preset one from their app, their webpage, if they would make them. Another thing I'd like to see them do is add an Audible Tone to this, because if this is sitting in the cushion of your couch and you set it for the app, here on your phone to find it, all it does is vibrate. It's not audible. So if it's sitting in between a couple cushions, you're probably not going to hear it. Of course, with the length of the battery on this, you should probably never take it off because it's decent. The band is nice. It's nice and flexible. It's a rubberized band, but it's not a cheap one. You know how you can get them cheap ones from the cheap watches at Wally World? This feels better quality. It's also a little bit thicker than most of those, as you can see here. It's a little bit thicker. So, reiterating one more time, for a survival situation, this watch is going to do you decently. You can recharge it in 2 hours. With what I have going, I'm going to say my battery life is going to be at least 12-13 days before I have to put it back on the charger. Now, a regular watch is run by batteries, but you'll need extra batteries. This one's built in. You just need the USB charger and hook it up to a solar bank, and you're golden. You could always, and for the price of these, they're right around $50. And for $50, it's not a bad buy. That's your Amazon Prime. I will put a link somewhere in the description for this, so you can find them if you're interested. This does work with Android and iOS. It works better with iOS's native health app than it does the Android one. I do know that. Although I have not checked it with an Android. I do have one here. I just haven't done it. But from the reviews I've seen from other people who do use nothing but Androids, they said it's decent as far as being able to connect and get all the information they need to transfer it over to their health app. It just takes a little work. But like I said, I haven't done it. I've only got it hooked up to my iPhone. So if you're looking for a relatively inexpensive smartwatch, it does a fairly decent amount of stuff. It's not an iPhone or an iWatch or any of them super high dollar ones. It's only $50, but it has a plethora of features, and I think it's well worth it. And for the cost and durability of it, it's well worth the $50. So that's this review, and until next time, SOP out.